Welcome back. And now join me in welcoming Deolu Akinyemi. Deolu is someone of, I don't want to say many parts, I would rather say several parts. He does quite a number of things. Have you seen someone that does a number of things and he does all of them very well? Jack of many trades, and yet he excels in them all. Deolu, how are you coping?
God's grace is sufficient.
All right, you are welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, now, meanwhile, his number is going to be on the screen. Okay, you can even call him immediately as we speak. Let us take off from where we stopped last week. You have told us what digital currency, cryptocurrency, and some of the several types, what they means, and then you have told us how they started. You have told us the history behind it. You have told us some of the down period. You have told us some of the opportunities and some of the opportunities in this. But let us start again from where we stopped. If I'm interested today,
Okay.
and I want to invest in probably cryptocurrency or any form of digital currency, how do I go about it?
Okay. So what I usually recommend is start from Bitcoin. There are over 6,000 different cryptocurrencies. The current market capitalization of the cryptocurrency market is about $2.168 trillion. And Bitcoin alone is $912 billion out of that 2. trillion. So it's about 45% of the entire market is Bitcoin. So it's a good place to start. Now, of course, many people usually are afraid that Bitcoin, how much is Bitcoin now? When I came here last week, Bitcoin was $45,000. It is currently $48,300. It has appreciated by about over 10% in the last 1 week. And of course, there's a lot of movement towards 50,000. It got to 50,000 in the course of last week. It has redressed back again to about 48, 49. Now, that's the kind of movement you have there. But people think, how do I buy Bitcoin that is $48,300? The beautiful thing about all of these cryptocurrencies is that you can buy $10 worth. You can buy $50 worth of Bitcoin, because there's a unit measurement of Bitcoins called Satoshi. The founder of the entire Bitcoin blockchain was a man by the name Satoshi Nakamoto. That's a pseudonym. He formed a name. Is unknown. Was basically wrote out the white paper as Satoshi Nakamoto. So every number, every value in Bitcoin is called Satoshis. So one Bitcoin is 100 million Satoshi. One Bitcoin is 100 million Satoshi. Now that means that I can buy 100 Satoshis. Probably will be like 10 naira. I can buy 5,000 Satoshis. Probably will be like $10. So I can buy any volume. I usually tell people it's best to start with Bitcoin because it gives you a feel of the market. It is still also very much an asset that is appreciating in value. So you can start with that. Typically, anybody who wants to enter into the cryptocurrency space typically starts with Bitcoin. So from Bitcoin, you can now decide, okay, I want to do something else. Maybe I want to have some of my portfolio in Ethereum. I want to have some in Ripple. I want to have some in Cardano. I want to do a little bit of, there's so many tokens. Now, the idea is, so the question is, so how do I start? I start with Bitcoin. How do I buy? Usually, what I recommend is, if you have an Android app or an iOS, if you have an Android device or an iOS device, look for BitNob and download BitNob. Register your details, because from there you can begin to buy. You can do what they call a P2P. And one of the benefits of BitNob is, on many apps, you can't buy, you have to have like $100 before you begin to buy, or $200 or $500. On BitNob, with as low as $10, $5 you can begin to buy, which is roughly about 2,500 naira for $5, or about 5,000 naira for $10. You can buy, and there's a P2P platform there that allows you to interact with agents that allow you to just pay them, and then they can send you the Bitcoin on your app. So that's a way to start. And then from there, you can now say, what, this $10 I have today is too small.
How do I make payment?
So you make payment to an agent. So for example, if you hit that number that I have there and chat with them on WhatsApp and say, what, I've downloaded the app, I need $10.
All right.
Yeah, they'll tell you pay, and then it will be sent to your wallet.
Dollars.
You can pay in naira. So they give you the exchange rate for today. They tell you the account to pay to. Now, because of the current ban of bank rails, attending to cryptocurrency. It's no longer direct debits from accounts. So it's P2P. P2P means peer to peer. It means you can send me money and I can send you Bitcoin. We will know what we are doing. It's not transparent to anybody what is going on. So we have agents like that all over the country who are able to collect money from you and deposit.
What if somebody collected money from you and it's not deposit?
Good. So the important thing you want to do is you want to relate with people that you know, or people that have some. I tell you, some people that have some kind of rope behind them. So, for example, if somebody wants to pay, and I tell the person pay to Mr. Babolujo, for example, the person knows that if anything happens between you and him, then he will ask me, because as far as the person is concerned, it's you I know. So it's best to go through channels of people that you know. But yeah, those are how the agents work. Now, of course, different platforms have different ways they do it. So, for example, on this Bitcoin platform, for example, if I don't want to worry about whether I'm paid or not, I can simply go on the platform and request to purchase on the platform and make my payment as instructed by the platform. Then I know that I'm dealing with a platform that handles that back end work for me as well.
All right, let me ask this question. It came to my mind as we were talking. Now, we were talking about in the course of a week. The last time you were here, it was around $45,000, and then it got to $50, came to 49, 48. All right. Now, in stocks, if, for example, you are investing 100,000 naira and in a particular stock, and then you are investing 10,000 naira in a particular stock, or you are investing 1 million naira in a particular stock, if the price of that stock moves by 20%, whether you are investing 100,000 naira or 1,000 or 2,000 or 1 million or 1 billion, you get the same percentage gain. Is it the same? In other words, are my gains investing little amount in Bitcoin same as when I'm investing much?
Very good question. It's the same, exactly the same way as it works in stocks. So let's say, for example, I buy, and let me use Naira for the convenience. Let's say I buy 50,000 Naira worth of Bitcoin and it gains 10%. I earn 10%. If I put more, I get more. There was a token, for example, I was talking.
Let me now ask this.
Yes.
Malam Kurfe is there listening to you. Aruna is listening to you. They are stockbrokers. Okay. So they charge commissions, and then the Securities and Exchange Commission, the Nigerian Stock Exchange, the CSCS. And so when I'm buying from Malam or from Aruna, for example, I know that yes, regulated commissions will have to be deducted, the same as in when I'm selling. So in digital currency, those agents I'm paying through, do I have to pay them commission? And if I'm to pay them commission, how do I pay them? What percentage? Who regulates it? Who decides?
Okay, so the way it works is the charges you have on platforms vary. So on a platform like Bitcoin, for example, the charge is 0.5% of your transactions if you are doing a deposit. So 0.5. So essentially, I'm doing $100. I probably will have a charge of about 0.5 of a dollar, on that kind of volume. But essentially, where the margins come in, the only charge that is there is the exchange rate margins. So, for example, I want to buy dollar is 520 today, so maybe I buy at 523. Yeah, and then I want to sell, maybe I sell at 518, or I sell slightly less. So is that exchange that you have some kind of fees. In the actual fees itself, one of the benefits of digital currencies is the charges are very, very close to zero. So, for example, when you start talking about things like Lightning Network, with the Lightning Network transfer. So, on cryptocurrency, for example, I can transfer money to you. If we're on the same platform, it doesn't cost me no charge. No charge. I can move $1 million to you and not be charged anything. So if I'm still using on the platform, it's when I want to take it into my local currency, that's when the forex margins creates some kind of charges.
Now, I've been in the financial market now close to 30 years, and I can tell you whatsoever investment platforms that's got the capacity, the capability to enrich you also has this same, in fact, equal capacity to
punish you.
In other words, gains, opportunities, and risk, they go together.
Yes.
At any point in time. We've taken time to talk about the opportunities in digital currency. What are the risks? Because, you see, I don't want a situation where up to today, there were some people that I asked to buy one private placement or the other. They are still calling me till tomorrow.
Mm.
There are some people, I remember back in days, I brought one guy, Cliff Clark. I'm sorry to mention his name. And he came at the time we were even doing it on Sunday to talk about Forex. People, because of my involvement, got involved with him. And today, some of them are still saying, Obabulu, you are the one. Back in days also, I was on a particular television station talking about the public offering of a bank. Somebody later came to tell me that he was eating pounded yam, and he told his wife that he was not going to invest ordinarily, but because I have put my mouth, he was going to invest. But if he should come down with the investment, he said, Bolu comes down with it in this case. Now, I want you to talk about this so that Nigerians watching you, hearing you on our radio platform now, will not just close their eyes and go and do. That is the way things work in Nigeria. They rush to do it. They do not understand it. Later, if they do not get what they expected, they will say, I had it on Obabulu Just program. I had it on Lagos television. They begin to talk. I don't want that, please. How does the risk come?
Okay.
And how or what can I do
about those risks? So I think that's very, very, very good question. I was thinking earlier, when are we going to talk about risks? Because whenever you say something is high yield, anything that can give you 20%, 50%, 100% in a year is high risk. It also has the capacity to lose you a lot of money as well. So, and how is the risk? The risk is, I told you that last week it was about $45,000. It went as far as $50,000. It's back to 48. It means that anybody who invested at $50,000 and sells at 48 has lost $2,000. So the market is volatile, and on the stock market there are controls that say you cannot gain more than a particular percentage per day, you cannot lose more than a particular percentage per day.
That's in regulated markets. In some markets,
yes. No. Some markets are not regulated. In cryptocurrency, it's not regulated. So if there is demand, I have seen a token that grew by 100% in one day. I've seen a token that grew by 200% in one day. And I've seen a token that lost 50% in one day. In fact, I've seen a token that has lost 50% in 1 hour.
Wow.
So it's volatile. And that means you don't just rush and take all your money and load it in a vehicle that you don't understand. I usually advise people and say your age should determine your risk profile. The older you are, the fewer the high risks you want to take. The younger you are, the more you probably can take. But the idea is this: don't put your money in what you don't understand. So, and this is what I share with people. I say, monies that will impact your life, you don't put it in high risk vehicles. Meaning, I've worked for 30 years, I have my retirement benefit, it is 2 million naira. I hear that this one is going up, and I put my money there and it begins to go down. It can impact my health. The best way to approach very volatile opportunities like this is participate in it with what, and when you see things like what you can afford to lose, let me spell it out clearly. Now, the average person, every day, you have a bottle of a drink, your favorite drink. Maybe it's one of these. I don't want to advertise any soft drinks right now, but it's a budget of do anyhow every day that you have. That is about 200 naira. For some people, it's 500. For some people, it's 1,000. If you put that money into buying a currency, buying you use that store of value every day, and you do that for 30 days, you will have spent, if you are spending 500 naira, in 30 days you'll have spent 15,000 naira. Now that kind of money looks like it's small, but the potentials in a very highly volatile market can be very, very exceptional. So my thought is high risk. Okay, Bitcoin is probably one of the most stable coins you have. Aside of stable coins in that entire mix, there are tokens that have gained significant value this year. I have something I was telling a friend about. I've watched it gain 50% in the last 1 week. Okay, it's not Bitcoin, it's one of the other cryptocurrencies. But the same way it's volatile up, is the same way it can be volatile down. I've had the opportunity, it's not an opportunity, of seeing a token that I bought some years back lose 99% of its value. So you buy it for 100 naira, and then in 2 years it's 1 naira. So I'm saying that both sides exist. Now, of course, when both sides exist, is where you need knowledge.
Now, they will look before you, because we have just about 2 minutes to round up this segment. You can see the two gentlemen there we still have, and we have limited time here in stocks to guide me. I have what is called fundamental analysis.
Yep.
I have the technical analysis.
Yep.
I have that stored on my system here. In forex, those that trade forex, I don't trade forex. They have that. Now, what are the tools
That you have
that could inform me when to move, how to move, where to move to, when to exit?
Okay. So these are some of the things we do in training, okay, and it's not free. Okay.
Yeah. Tell us small.
Good. So I'll share small. I'll share small, and it can even be, if you reach out on WhatsApp, we can organize, something for you. Now, we also have fundamental analysis, and we have technical, just the same way. On the technical, there are candles, the same structure like it is with forex. But because what those technical analysis measure is trends.
Yes.
And they measure the volume buys and volume sells, and you can predict based on the fact that a lot of people are going to this place now. You can know what the trends are. Somebody give an illustration and said, if you go to a particular town and you are looking for a good restaurant, look for one where there's a queue, because if people are queuing there, it means the food is sweet. If you go to a restaurant and there's nobody there, it means nothing is happening. Now that's not fundamental, that's technical. You are looking at the flow of people to determine whether the food will taste good. When you come to fundamental, is you go there and you sample different food, and they say, this one tastes better, this one I like this one. You're not looking at the crowd, you're looking at the food. That's fundamental. Now, so here you have the same thing here as well. But here's what we advise people. There's a strategy called DCA. Okay, it's called dollar cost averaging. And it's saying that if I am buying a little of any asset, a little every day, and spread it over 4 years, 5 years,
spread your risk.
I'll spread my risk. I will play with the volatility of the market, and I will have a trend that will make me more profitable than if I took all my money and put it at once. If I put it at once, it can go up.
I have to stop.
And it can come down.
I have to stop at that, or else we stay here till tomorrow, the following day. Adeola, I want to say a very big thank you for coming once again. I want to believe that you will be available at least before you become busy, at least next week, so that we can continue from where we are hanging it today. All right? Promise.
No problem.
All right. I've been speaking with Deolu Akinyemi, a serial entrepreneur, and you have his number. Please call him. All right? I will go on a short break. When I return, it will be explosive session, talking stocks with Malam Garba Kolfi and Aruna Kebira, all together at the same time. You can't get it better anywhere. Don't change this television channel. I'll be right back.